Very good morning once again. Please take it away.
Yes, good morning to you. Right now, I'm speaking to you from the home of Dr. Chisamba Mugerwa. This is a perfect gentleman because he has served in different capacities. He has been a chairman of local government and he has been a minister before. He has also been the chairperson of National Planning Authority. He's an accomplished agriculturalist, an economist, and a development consultant. Here is Dr. Chisamba Mugerwa. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning, viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much. The reason as to why I came early into your home is just to consult you, because now you're a different consultant on economy, on politics, and so much more, and also in agriculture. Just last week we saw the creation and the passing of new counties, new constituencies, and this is also adding on the pressure of administrative units. Is this appetite for new administrative units, isn't it a recipe for disaster in Uganda?
Well, Uganda is one of the countries which was up front in terms of decentralization. And I remember during our time, many neighboring countries used to come to see what we are doing in decentralization. Except that decentralization is a process. There has to be an argument whether we should first build up capacity or should we decentralize. We said we can do simultaneously, building up the capacity while we are decentralizing, because that brings service to the people. And that unfortunately, in some cases, we have over-decentralized without accompanying resources. Some of the districts which have created don't have yet residents and homes for their offices. Now, when it comes to Parliament, I'm sorry you are saying I'm a consultant. I'm not a consultant in that field, but I have knowledge. I remember when I was a member of Parliament, I had a very large area, and what was cumbersome was mainly transport and how you reach the people. And during that time, I could come to Parliament, we discussed for the whole week. People wouldn't know even what we have discussed. Then you would go to hold the meetings in order to brief them on what happened in Parliament. We were at an advantage that they didn't know what we were discussing, but we were at a disadvantage that it used to take a long time to go around the whole constituency. But now, since then, a number of things have happened. The government has improved on the roads, so transport is available. We have ICT. Most people have telephones, radios, TVs are becoming part of the home. They are no longer luxury. So it is difficult from the cost effectiveness to justify the number of districts and the constituencies being created.
Dr. Chisamba, these new 46 counties and constituencies, when you add them to the 10 cities that were created already, others began this financial year and others will be coming to effect next financial year. But these are also creating under pressure, number of seats in Parliament. Already Parliament is overcrowded, and now you can almost have 500 MPs in Parliament. When you see already the Electoral Commission has already asked for more money, and now they have to create more, go through another electoral process. Isn't this creating a lot of pressure on the Electoral Commission and a taxpayer?
Definitely, it may create a lot of pressure on the Electoral Commission and the budget, but politically there is another issue. Besides service to the people, there are some dissatisfaction among some constituencies, and people demand for these constituencies. People demand for these counties and sub-counties. And when some demand from ethnic point of view differences, others from lack of services from the existing administrative units. So I think, when you are not in government, it is difficult to know all the details. We may not know, for us who are now outside the government, we may not know what actually the issues why they are creating these. They may be answering some, they may be responding to some issues which would have been even more chaotic to create more costs. Suppose there is a strike, suppose there is infighting, conflicts. That's another area. But if that not put aside, when it comes to cost effectiveness in terms of communication, in terms of access to the people, I think the Electoral Commission is going to have a big burden of organizing the elections, and it is a cost. Leave alone the Electoral Commission. But remember, when a member of parliament, the cost which goes to him to sustain a member of parliament, it's quite a big amount of money. So not the Electoral Commission, but the taxpayer is going to bear a lot of. We do need more services, because we haven't accomplished. Like there are some sub-counties without a secondary school, some parishes without a primary school. We are going to deepening the health services up to Center 2. We had to stop at 3 in order to consolidate. These have not been consolidated. Since I'm no longer in the government, it is difficult for me to know exactly.
They can't take your advice because
the details.
National Planning Authority, you have been a Minister of State for Finance. Now, where can government, in this COVID situation that is already straining the budgets, already straining the financial bags of government, where can they get the finances to run these new administrative units amidst all these challenges that we are having in this COVID situation?
I think there is a political agenda, there is a social agenda, as I said, to avoid these conflicts, but economically it is not justifiable. It's not justifiable because I think I would rather have a grade 3 and a grade 2 center where stocked and people have access to health services. I would rather have a school, a good government primary school at parish level, and at secondary level, sub-county secondary school. We have promised many things in those areas. At constituency level, we promised vocational institutions. Some don't have even the machinery which are required to operate a viable vocation. So I think there are something which need to be examined.
That's something that needs to be examined. When you look at the parliament, what would you tell the parliamentarians who continuously pass new districts, new counties, new cities, and also the people who continuously demand?
Well, whenever there is a change, some people benefit. Others may find the constituency, another part is so difficult for one to come back as a member of parliament. When it is split, it becomes easier. But these smaller districts are also, constituencies are also difficult. Because if you have nursed it very well, one can upset it overnight because it is small. So I think the members of parliament who are passing them, I think there is what they call collective responsibility. When you are in government or when in politics, some member, there is what they call chief whips. They whip the members of parliament in a direction which I think the leader or the government may like to drive towards. So some people keep quiet and they suffer internally, but knowing very well that what they are doing is not good for the country.
Okay, thank you so much. And finally, your word to government in this COVID situation, how should it be handled? And in case...
First, I must thank the government and the president and the Minister of Health. They handled it very effectively in the first 3 months. And I felt proud. However, it seems it is going out of astray because of the figures they are giving which don't tally, because of lack of enforcement, and because of the pressure from the public. So they better think hard and work hard to ensure that we don't get a problem and we undo what we had gone through. Otherwise, I think it is a responsibility of each individual to ensure that we keep distance, we wear masks, we wash our hands every time, and we avoid unnecessary visits, which could land you into any problem. You know, when the government, the person has no food, the government has to feed the people. So even it is an individual's responsibility, but it is also government's responsibility to ensure that we are safe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kisamba Mugerwa. He's a farmer, he's a consultant in economics, and he has been a minister before, a local government chairperson, as well as a honorable member of parliament. These are his words to you, the members of parliament, the government, and the citizenry. Let's take them as words of wisdom. Stephen Imbido Fefes Wechibuga been here at Komamboga. Now taking you back to studio for the rest of the quieter programming.
Thank you.